M1240 and W240DF-FM 95.9 Freeport, New York. The views expressed in the previous program.
Ready to go? Hello, good evening, and welcome to the Real Estate Plate. As always, I'm your host, Nick Sakalis, coming to you live from the WGBB studios here in Merrick, New York. And as you could tell, there is a different tone in my voice today. Something that you don't normally hear on a Monday when I'm doing the hustle and bustle and trying to grind through a typical aftermath of a weekend, gearing up for the upcoming week. I'm usually a little more drained. I'm a little more tired, but today I got a little bit more of a, what's the word? A jump in my step. Is that what we're going to be saying? Well, either way, I have a much more optimistic and happy type of tone in my voice today. Why? Because look at this weather. Look at this weather. I mean, not right now. Now it's drizzling. Now it's drizzling. We're not gonna count right this moment what's going on. But what we're going to do is take into consideration the weather that we had yesterday and the weather that we had today for the most part, and see how beautiful things are. Honestly, I think that it was just what the doctor ordered. I think it was the perfect prescription for a lot of our down type of attitudes over the past few weeks and that kind of thing, with the weather, that being cold and snow here and there and that kind of thing. So I love the fact that we hit the 70s yesterday. At one point, we were in the 60s, high 60s, maybe even bordering 70 at one point, and I can't complain about that. And for me, on a personal level, it couldn't have come at a more ideal and perfect time. It really couldn't have. And I'll get into that why. I'll get into why it couldn't have come into a more ideal time for me on a personal level. Just wait. We'll get into that in this show. I'll give everybody an understanding of where we're going to go here today. I have been getting a lot of people messaging me, sending me emails, telling me of how they want to hear a little bit more about me, about my approach, about a little bit of the inner Nick Sakalis. Not just about how we do real estate, now more of a mechanical approach about real estate and that kind of thing. They kind of want to hear a little bit more about me. They want me to take off a little bit off of that armor and let you know what's going on. So I'm going to take an approach today with this show to give you a little bit of insight of me, how my wiring works, things that, my makeup, my genetic makeup is putting me in a way of doing business and conducting my life. Now, Trevor, you know me. A lot of times I'm coming, I'm a non-nonsense guy. I'm ranting, I'm raving, I'm getting animated about things and that kind of thing. And don't get me wrong. The ranting and raving, that's not going to go away. When something heats me up and something animates me, I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to go nuts about it. It's just the way I am. It's just the way I am, and it's going to continue happening that way. So everybody's been telling me that, that's great, Nick, but tell us a little bit more about yourself. Tell us a little bit more. So I'm going to go back into why this weather couldn't have hit me at a more ideal time period. Because, I forget, what is it? I think it was Friday or Saturday. I got an epiphany. I decided I'm going to quit smoking. I said, enough. That's it. I am going to quit smoking. You saw it? You saw it on Facebook? Dude, nobody could hear you. If you're going to be talking, I got to be mindful of the social media. It's not only about WGP.
I don't want to get in your way, man, because you're doing a good job so far. I just want to let you know I saw that on Facebook, and you look serious what you're talking about.
I appreciate that, Trevor, and I appreciate every single person that not only liked or commented on those posts, but also send me personal remarks telling me about their struggle when they try to quit smoking and giving me a lot of words of encouragement. Now, I'm going to tell you the reason why I posted it there. One, it was an impulse. By the way, hello, Kelly. Thank you for joining the show today. I did it more of an impulse thing at that point. I'm like, damn it, I'm done. I'm done. I'm going to quit. I'm going to quit. Enough is enough. This has been way too many years. I've been smoking since I was 12 years old. Yeah, I've been smoking since I was 12 years old. And I'm not going to say, I was like one of those kids that smoked a cigarette here and there and that kind of thing. No, I smoked. Like, I was a smoker from 12 years old. And tried to quit on and off quite a few times. Never really did it. And the thing that makes this moment in time different than other times, every time I try to quit in the past, it was not because I said to myself, I want to quit. It's because I got pushed by somebody to try to quit. Oh, you should quit. It's not good for you. The family members, this, that, whatever the case. I always felt like I was getting pushed into it. And I never really wanted to inside. Why? Because I'm an idiot. That's everybody that smokes, by the way, we're all idiots. We're all idiots. I'm just letting you know that's the case. We are all idiots. And whether we want to admit to it or not, that's the truth. Anytime you're burning something and inhaling it and saying, this is good for me, it's not a good thing. So I was an idiot for multiple decades. I'm 45. I just turned 45. So I've been smoking since I was 12. That's 33 years. That's a lot of years. Wow. A lot of years. And contrary to...
You never get the urge to quit on your own? Never? Why do you smoke in the first place? What does it do for you? Why you continue? Is it something you hook on, or you just...
Well, let me tell you something. I felt like it was a crutch.
Okay.
I really believe. I took a deep dive analysis of my inner being,
okay.
And I said to myself, why am I smoking? Well, I'm smoking because it reduces my stress. That's everybody's reason why. And it does. Believe me. The nicotine and all the chemicals and stuff that we're inhaling that are killing us are really like, they're like downers. They're depressants. They bring you down. They calm you down. There's no doubt about that. And then I say to myself, maybe I have a fixation. I have an oral fixation. I need to have something in my mouth and my finger. That doesn't sound too good. But maybe I have to hold something all the time, and the puffing action and that kind of thing. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's what it is. But then I thought to myself, you know what? It's none of the above. It's a crutch. Okay. It's a crutch. It's me telling myself that I need something to be able to move forward and do stuff in my life. And that's a mental thing. The addictive part of it is one thing. And there is an addictive element to it. Because believe me, it is, if you are an active smoker and you're trying to quit, like a real smoker, I'm not talking about a social smoker that smokes a cigarette here and there, whatever, like a real smoker, you go and buy packs and smoke them on a daily basis. If you're that kind of a person and you try to quit cold turkey, you know what? It is like, the only thing I can compare it to, I guess, an alcoholic or a crack addict or something like that, and they're going through withdrawal, different type of withdrawal, but you're going through that.
Right.
You're going through that, and don't get me wrong. I'm at the point where I'm getting a little bit. I'm getting a little bit antsy, and before anybody asks me, have I been good? Have I been doing it the right way? Yes, I did cheat once on Saturday. Saturday night I had one. I had a half of this. This is my miscalculation. When I said I wanted to quit, I forgot I had about a half a pack of cigarettes still in my car. So as I'm driving back at nighttime after having a dinner Saturday night, I found it. I'm like, I broke. So I smoked about half of it. I threw it away. But then you know what? That is it. That's it.
But couldn't you start out on a minimum? You know, like say, well, if you kind
Yes
of person
and no.
smoke 2 packs a day, let's do that, right? It's okay. I'm only going to do one. Okay. Then when you do one, maybe if you smoke a cigarette, 2 cigarettes in 10 minutes, wait for another half an hour. So what you're trying to do, you're making the body become accustomed to the new changes now. But when you just stop sudden like that, you're going to have something to replace it because that body's going to earn for that. And even though you fight, you got to have something to resist it. Now that's just
You know
I
what?
don't smoke, but I know my wife smoked, but she stopped smoking, and I have people around me that smoke. But this is what they always say. You got to start slowly. You can't just sudden unless you're really good at it. So that's it.
You know what? There is some validity to what you're saying, and there is a process, and some people can do that, and some people can't.
Right.
But I will tell you something: weaning yourself off little by little, or I contemplated going to get the Nicorette gum or the patch. It doesn't work. Honestly, the patches. I tried that years ago. I had 3 patches on my body, and I was still smoking a pack a day without a problem. So it has to be in your head. Yes. Is it easy? You're gonna get some of the jitters out. You're gonna get some of that stuff going, but you need to apply it. And believe me, this is not a show about talking about how you quit smoking. And I will tell you how it relates into real estate momentarily as the show progresses. And there is always a reason for what I discuss on this show, and it has to link somehow to real estate. We're not talking about Ukraine right now, and then we could really talk about Ukraine right now, but this is not that type of show. And by the way, my heart does go out to everybody that's being affected by that, whether it's family members, friends, people that are living here and across the world that are seeing what's happening to all the people there, and whether it's the people there that are being affected, being killed, families, children, nuclear fear. My heart goes out to them, and I can't even start to begin to show you how much I'm feeling for you people right now. But that means nothing because I'm not the one that's running, the big eyes in the sky that are running the world. I'm not one of those people that are doing that. They're the ones that are controlling what's going on right now. So again, I'm not going to get into that, and maybe it's for the better I don't, because I'll probably piss off a lot of people, and I'll probably get it really, really polarizing. But let's go back to the topic that we were talking about. So I decided to make that post. I got a ton of I said it before, I'm gonna say it again. I got a ton of really encouraging words from not only people that are friends and family, co-workers, that kind of thing, but people that watch the show as well. And I'm really appreciative of it. And here's the alternative motive of why I did that. Okay? So yes, it was an impulse thing, but it was a calculated impulse. Why? Because this is going to hold me accountable. It's going to hold me accountable because if people catch me out on the street smoking a cigarette and they know what I'm doing, they're going to call me out. They're going to embarrass me. And maybe that's what I need. I need that extra motivation, not only for myself, but to feed my ego that I could do something. Maybe I need that a little bit of embarrassment in case I ever have a break. Okay. Because on a personal level, You never want to look like the hypocrite that you're going back on your word and you have no willpower. And on a professional level, you want to show that you have strong willpower to be able to get through things. Now, I'm looking at quitting smoking almost like a negotiation. Almost like a negotiation. My whole life, my whole career is based on negotiating things in life. I'm always negotiating to try to get the better deal for my side. It's how it is. It's the nature of the business. So why am I looking at this any differently? This is a negotiation with myself.
Okay.
So I'm negotiating with myself. I want to win.
Mm-hmm.
I never go into any negotiation thinking I'm going to lose, and I'm not planning on ever losing any negotiation because, it's, believe me, it's not conceited, it's not ego, it's confidence. I feel very, very confident in myself, and I always want to win, and I always go in with the mindset that I'm going to win. So this is another negotiation that I'm planning on winning, and I will win, and I will quit. And by the way, for anybody that's my competitors out there, and you're getting all happy, oh, he's quitting smoking, he's going to probably die or something. That's why he's quitting smoking. He's really, really sick. No, nothing like that is happening. I assure you, nothing like that is happening. It is a conscious choice that I have made for myself because I just said it's time. It's time. It's time to drop that crutch. Both my legs work. I'm not hobbled in any way. I don't need that crutch. Both of my legs work. My mind is, sound. Why am I still smoking? Why? So I could be one of the mindless sheep that follow and smoke and continue to do the things that we've been psychologically trained to do for over years. No, I always consider myself to be an individual and a free thinking individual, and I'm not gonna let a little stick filled with tobacco control the way I work my life. I definitely will. And there's a lot of people out there for year upon year, that have been trying to nudge me towards quitting and that kind of thing. And yes, I do appreciate all those efforts over the years. And again, because I never made that determination and a choice on my own, I never went through with it. And one of my coworkers, Harriet, I don't know if she's listening or not, she always told me I need to quit and how I can't let that little stick control my life and that kind of thing. And she's right. She's right. If you're listening, I know you like to be told that you're right. I'm going to tell on the airwaves, you are right. It's just that it's just what it is. And I have a new outlook on myself. I'm just looking at it from the perspective. The past 2-3 years have been quite challenging on a multitude of different issues. They've been really, really challenging. I don't think I have to tell anybody. This COVID thing has gotten everybody nuts, depressed, caused a lot of issues for a lot of people, psychologically, financially, business-wise. The eviction moratorium hit us. You know how nuts I get about that. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to get nuts today.
Okay.
I'm not going to go on a rant today. But you know how nuts I get about that. And, it has been taxing on me. Thank God, business-wise, I can't complain.
Okay.
Business-wise, I had a steady flow of business. Mm-hmm. And anybody that has been in the real estate business over these past few years that's complained, oh, there's no business. I can't work. COVID cobbled me. That's bull. That's bull. Anybody that knows anything and can do some business in the real estate field was working. They found a way to get the job done. They found a way to get paid. They got a way to make some sales. That's how it is.
Right.
It's just the way it works. So, and this is not to, belittle or diminish anybody that, has been, in the business for 10, 20 years and that kind of thing, and said, oh, this has been the worst time. No, I'm not. You belittle yourself for that, for not doing it, for not being able to do business. It's just how it is. But it's just one of those things. It's just one of those things that, it was taxing. It was taxing. And at the same time, because a lot of people were going through the same like status quo and using same way I was using a cigarette as a crutch, a lot of people have been using COVID and the coronavirus as a crutch as well. In my case, I didn't use it as a crutch. I just became complacent. And that's a dangerous thing in my field, to become complacent. And I thought it through. I kind of did a self-evaluation of myself. And I said to myself, you know what? I'm doing well. I should be doing better. I should be rocking and rolling in this business. Why am I not doing that? Why? Because I became complacent. So something like, I don't know what it was, but there was an epiphany. There was something that just triggered something in my mind that got me to wake up and say, you know what? I'm not going to be complacent anymore. I want more.
Right.
I want more. These past couple of years, they've been depressing. They've been annoying. I want 2022 to be a rock and roll year.
I hear you.
I want this year to be, the way everybody's been saying, and believe me, I've been part of that, as far as making record-breaking sales and this and that. And it has been a fun roller coaster as far as that aspect is concerned. I want 2022 to be for myself and my team that year that we break records when other people can't. And that's my motivation. For the first time in a very, very long time, I got a chip on my shoulder.
That's all right.
I got a chip on my shoulder. I got an additional drive and motivation, which I haven't had in a while. I got something to prove. What that is to prove, time will tell. And you'll see at the end of the year when the results come out.
All right.
But I have that additional, desire. Maybe that's the word. So I'm looking forward to 2022. I think it's going to be a really great year. Hi, Jarvis. How you doing? New York elected officials, AOC, de Blasio, etc., want to make it a crime for landlords to earn a profit for their hard-earned work. You are absolutely right, Driver C. You are absolutely right. Well, de Blasio's gone now, but he caused the damage already. Didn't I say that I wanted to make this a happy show, an optimistic show, that kind of thing? Does everybody want to pull me in? Does everybody want to pull me into getting all revved up and hyped up on this? Is that what motivates you all? Seeing me get all hot and ranting about things? Is that what the show really needs to be? I mean, if it is, I have no issue jumping. I'm gonna try to keep it light today. I really will. And by the way, anybody that is watching on the stream, I do have a StreamYard link in there. If you wanted to jump in and join the live stream and possibly be heard on the radio, you're more than welcome jumping in. You just got to keep it clean, please. Keep it clean. We do have the show number here, which I forgot as usual to actually mention in the beginning of the show. It's 516-623-1240. Again, the number here is 1-516-623-1240. You could call in. Trevor will patch you in, and you better keep it clean because the FCC is watching me. Believe me, they're watching. So, you got two ways to get a hold of us. Kelly Johnson, quitting is hard, but once time goes on, you will see it gets easier. Good luck. Thank you so much, Kelly. And just like Kelly, there's been so many people that have been giving me very similar words of encouragement, and they are appreciated. They really are. And I've heard stories from people that have very, very similar type of experiences trying to quit. You know, I love to hear how people dealt with the jitters and that kind of stuff, and withdrawal and that kind of thing. I don't want to get graphic on how it is, but I'm coughing more now trying to quit than I coughed when I was actually smoking, if that makes any sense. Because I guess my body is trying to just remove all the toxins and all the crap that's all gunked up inside of me. I don't know what it is. I don't know, but it's weird. But going back to the driver's seats comment, you know, it's unfortunate. It really is unfortunate the way that we are in a position where the government is really holding certain sectors back and making them go through hoops just to get paid or to be able to get justice or compensated for the type of needs that they have, for their assets, for their businesses, for all kinds of different things included. It's a really really tough thing, a really really tough thing, you know. But I don't know. We've talked about this a lot, and I could definitely drone on about many more times. But let's keep to the topic of the show. Let's keep to the topic of the show. New experiences, new beginnings, new approaches. That's my mindset. That is exactly my mindset. And I'm going to say something. Another thing that has gone through my mind quite a few times as far as fighting myself trying to quit is, does my nasty habit of smoking, because it is a nasty habit, believe me, it's not nasty to you if you're smoking, you're sucking it in at that moment, and you're feeling euphoria, and you're feeling like that's that's a trick. That's what does it for you. Believe me, I know that feeling. Just thinking about it gets me jittery to want to smoke a cigarette right now. But that habit, has it affected my business in any way? And I started to analyze it, and I started to look at it from an aspect and a perspective of, has it been doing better or worse for me? Now, yes, we're going to keep to that crutch of saying yes, it's keeping my stress levels down, that kind of thing. Okay, all right. We're going to put that to the side, but that's supposedly the biggest reason and catalyst. However, when you go into a place, when you go into a place, when you go into a place and you stink like an ashtray, and the people all around you do not smoke, how does that affect you? Is that pleasurable for the people around you? Is that inviting? Is that your your calling card? Your cologne? Is that going to pull them in and give them more attraction to you? Or is it going to revolt people to not want to work with you? That's just from the smell aspect of it. Will it make people nauseous being around you? Well, I'll tell you something. As the days progress since I decided to quit, and I'm speaking to people, co-workers, people that I have association with, or whatever the case is, I've had people come to me and say, you know what? Good for you, whatever you're doing. You don't smell anymore. I never said anything to you, but you don't smell anymore. You would come in, and the whole place would smell like cigarettes. Even though you're not smoking, it's embedded in your clothes. And believe me, my whole environment still, because it's still fresh, still smells like cigarettes. To me right now, it doesn't smell bad. It's actually inviting to me because I want that cigarette again. Don't get me wrong. I want it. I want it to come back again. But I'm going to resist. But I'm sure sooner or later, once enough time passes where I'm not smoking, it'll probably revolt me too. Maybe it'll get me nauseous. Or maybe I'm a sick human being that's in my DNA that I need to have it. I don't know. We'll find out sooner or later. But the things that I've been hearing and understanding from people give me that impression that I have caused myself damage professionally by smoking all these years. I might have lost a couple of deals, a couple of listings because of that reason. Now, people are going to tell me, you shouldn't do it for the business, you shouldn't do it for work, you shouldn't do it for health. You know what? Grow up. You know, health, business, financials, everything is linked in life. Everything. Hygiene, it's all linked. It's all linked. So what the ultimate catalyst and the reason why we make decisions in life should not be just one factor. It should be all the factors together making you make that decision. So I feel that it did hurt me. I truly feel. Now maybe if I'm dealing with the old school, all the old school immigrants that I would have a lot as clients, and they're all smokers. Like, come here, Nick, let's smoke a cigarette, or whatever the case is. Yeah, maybe with them, it helped me. But I guarantee, even with them, if I told them I just quit, they wouldn't hold it against me. I don't think they would. They might say, hey, Nick, I've been trying to quit too. They might say to me, good for you. And even if they don't, I don't care. I made my decision. That's my decision. I'll never judge anybody for making the decisions they make for themselves. That's on them. They live and die by the consequences. But all I can do is judge myself and try to make myself better as a human, as a professional, as crappy radio host on WGBB, better friend. That's all I could do for myself. Better father. That's all I could do. So it did affect me. I feel like it did affect me. And I feel that if I didn't smoke, I might have been able to do a couple more things. And I will say something else. Even though I got the jitters, even though I got a little bit of that withdrawal effect that I'm feeling from the cigarettes, and believe me, it is a very, very uncomfortable feeling of feeling your body like really like pulling to have something and at the same time rejecting something, even though that is a really, really uncomfortable feeling. I'm starting slowly, day by day, to feel a little bit more energy. As crazy as that sounds, I'm starting to get a little bit more energy. I'm starting to feel like I'm getting a little bit stronger. Like it is helping me. Now it could be psychological. Could be psychological, but you know what? Whether it's psychological or it's not, I'm okay with that because that's the way I'm feeling.
It's working.
You know what? It's somewhat working. Now next week, maybe I'll have a different story for you, or maybe I'll say, you know what? It's week 2, and I feel like I'm shot out of a cannon, like a bat out of hell.
I don't know, Nick. I think you're the type of man when you make up your mind to do something, you're gonna see it through.
Yeah, I
have that much faith in you.
I definitely
it might be
appreciate
a
that.
struggle, because it's gonna come to you, but I think you'll pull it through.
I definitely do appreciate that, Trevor, and I feel that once the decision is made, as I made it, and it's my decision, it's going to happen one way or the other. You know, I'm a stubborn guy.
How do your wife and kids feel about it? I'm quite sure they would be happy.
My kids are ecstatic about it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, my son actually, you know, told me that he's proud of me, that I'm doing it. So
Okay.
I think, you know, I think it's a positive thing altogether.
Oh, that's good.
I definitely do. But you know, my kids never liked it. They never liked it. They never wanted to see their dad smelling like an ashtray and that kind of thing. You know. You know, I'm sure they want me to, you know, live a few extra years and that kind of thing. I don't know. It depends. It depends how bad I get when I'm in my 70s and 80s. If they need to like sit there and take care of me, I'm sure they're going to want me to pass away at that point. But
You know, it is funny as you said it because now, for what I understand now, that they say like the 60s now is the new 50s and new 40s. People in the 80s are living longer and working out. So age really doesn't slow people down anymore. It's how you take care of your body.
well, I'm going to tell you something.
You know.
I'm going to tell you something, and this is related. You just said something.
Okay.
Now, one of the things that happens all the time, and you hear this one person after the other that quit smoking, they say that they start taking on another habit to take its place. And most of the time, that habit is eating and stuffing their faces all the time. Okay? So I'm being very, very mindful of that because, one, I don't want to be super fat. That's, you know, I got enough heft on me, and I need a workout and a half to get myself back into shape.
Right.
Yep. That's part two of my motivation of getting myself into a different frame of mind. Because I think once I get myself past the cigarette habit, getting myself in a workout mode to get my body a little stronger, a little, you know, making myself feel a little better when I'm looking in the mirror and that kind of thing. You know, instead of seeing a muscle that flaps this way, you know, see it go the right way, that kind of thing. So I think personally that I'm trying my very best of not substituting what I'm quitting with something else that could be just as damaging, if not worse. You know, I'm not a small guy. You know, I'm like 6'1", 6'2", somewhere around there, depending on who the hell is measuring me and that kind of thing. I don't know. Like I never get the right number.
Right.
I'm about 250 pounds.
Right.
You know, I'm not a lightweight.
Right.
You know, I could probably benefit from losing another 40 pounds.
Oh, okay.
You know, bring myself to 210. Even if I'm 220, that would probably be a good thing.
Right.
But now, if I start stuffing my face, I'll jump up to that 300 like this, like this. And the funny thing is, I fluctuated in the past. I don't know, year and change. I put on about 50 pounds, and I lost it all within a year.
Right.
So it's not good. It's not good to do those things. So I don't want to do that again. I want to start losing weight as I am not smoking as well. Now that's the challenge. It's a real challenge. That's why you see me. Yes, I know it's not a professional thing to do while you're on the air to be chewing gum and that kind of, but that's what I'm doing. Why? Because it beats the hell out of smoking a cigarette while I'm doing this. So if I'm less professional than what is, you know, the radio standard by chewing gum while I'm on the air, I apologize if my voice is not coming out the way it's supposed to be coming out on the radio.
I didn't. If you wasn't moving your lip, I wouldn't tell because it's not coming over here like that.
Well, I'm glad that that's the case, but I actually hear it in my own head because I'm doing this.
You're doing something like you don't know.
Yeah, I'm chewing.
Right.
Now this is the thing. This is the kicker. This is the thing that drives me crazy. A few people, as they say, oh, that's great that you're quitting smoking. Now you should quit coffee too. I'm like, what the hell? Do you want me to quit my life too? Come on, one step at a time, man. One step at a time. Let's take it easy. Let's take it easy. Let me have my vices. Let me have something. Something. I don't drink. I don't do drugs. I'm no. I'm a fairly conservative person. My biggest vice was smoking cigarettes, and I guess drinking coffee. I don't know why drinking coffee is bad, but
Well, look at that. They're looking out for you because
no, they're not.
The coffee is almost as bad as smoking cigarettes.
According to you. According to you.
I know people they can't go no that they don't turn out good unless they have a cup of coffee. Now that's something that's holding you. If you got to get in a mood to drink a cup of coffee to get you in a good or bad mood, something is wrong.
You don't drink coffee?
No, sir.
Oh, look at you! Look at this guy! Look at this guy! I got the man of God telling me the coffee is no good for you.
Well, I didn't say it wasn't good for you. I just said they were looking out for you because if you get a hookup to that coffee, then it begins to rule you. You say, well, I can't. My day ain't gonna go good until I have me a cup of coffee. So now the coffee's controlling you just as much as a cigarette.
See, I'm not even.
No, you don't have to see it that way. I'm just suggesting.
I'm going to tell you something from a personal level. It's not that my day's going to go good or not because of that cup of coffee. My eyes opening up and starting to get myself into gear is because of that cup of coffee in the morning.
If you work for you that way, that's fine.
Yeah, I need that shot of caffeine in the morning just to get myself going.
Right.
Well, you know what? Maybe that'll be down the road. Maybe no promises. I assure you, there is zero promises that's going to happen. I'm not ready to give that up. Okay, but maybe it'll come one day, one step at a time. Smoking, I think, is enough. I think that's the worst of the two evils that I have. And the funny thing is, I get people tell me, "Well, you should start drinking tea." Well, you know what? Tea has caffeine. It's just as bad, especially if you drink strong tea. Because I drink strong coffee. I'm not gonna drink no damn Sanka. It's funny. I was talking to somebody early today, and she mentioned Sanka to me, and it put me in a different. It gave me a flashback.
Oh, really?
It gave me a flashback. It was a little orange, crappy orange little packet. You remember Sanka, right?
Of course.
Those little orange packets, you would go into a place and say, "Can I have decaf?" No decaf. Sanka. Remember that?
Of course, I remember.
I used to do that all the time at my dad's place when I was a kid.
Oh, really? Oh,
yeah,
okay.
because I used to sell coffee, so people would come in. Oh, can I have decaf? No decaf. Sanka. Or you just give them a Sanka, and they're like, "What the hell is this?" It's Sanka. It's decaf.
That's what it is. Yeah.
That's exactly what it is. So, yes, I made this move to quit smoking on a personal level, on a mind over matter kind of level, on a professional level, that I believe will accelerate me on not only health wise, but I think it will grow me as a true professional in my business.
Okay.
But it's all part of the same kind of mindset that let's do positive things to make things better altogether. Let's not deal on crutches. Let's not depend on things like that. And I'll tell you something else. If you're dealing with a very high profile type of client, somebody that's very business minded, very business oriented, and they're very disciplined, and they're organized, that kind of thing. Most of the time, those people, they don't smoke. And I feel that if you are a smoker, they could use that against you. I think they could use that against you. Because they're going to think to themselves, like, this guy has no willpower. I don't want this person representing me.
Okay.
Because I've assessed this. I thought this through. It's just a different approach, different thing. And you know, I'm not saying this to pat myself on the back and say, look at me, what I'm doing, whatever the case. I'm hoping that if people are listening to this show and listening to what I'm doing that have similar type of crutches that they're actually holding on to can apply this for themselves in one way or the other. Maybe I could inspire somebody else to do something else. Because I assure you, I had so many positive messages, but I did have a few negative messages that come in. People are really irritating sometimes, and really, I put something in there to try to motivate myself in one way or the other, like the post that I put on Facebook, and then I get comments coming from certain individuals that say, "You're not going to quit. Who are you kidding?" That kind of thing. You'll never quit. I have to see it to believe it. And not in a nice way. In a very I have no faith in you way, which actually fuels me and motivates me even more, makes that chip even bigger.
Right.
Because I'm a very, very I'll show you kind of a guy. If you push me the wrong way, I'm going to get it done one way or the other. NYC guy, I'm glad I inspire you. I hope that something I can do to anything I'm saying here or I'm doing gives you some motivation to do something else. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Kelly Johnson, switch to decaf, still has minimal caffeine. Maybe does. Maybe it does, but I'm not ready to go for minimal caffeine. I need the full-blown caffeine at this point. Let me not go into complete detox mode where you're gonna have to put me into some clinic of complete jitters. Let me get rid of the smoking, and I'll visit the coffee thing down the line. Until then, I will be. Plus, I need to see if I could get Starbucks to actually sponsor the show. So I don't think they're going to be too happy if I say I'm quitting. But I'm hoping that what I'm saying here gives some people some positive thoughts and that kind of thing. Because I can assure you, once I do go through it, right now, yes, I said I quit, and I did quit. And it's only been a few days. That doesn't count. Let a month or two pass by of not smoking that kind. That's when you could really say, yeah, he really quit. Let it get out of my system completely. Let me detox completely. Let me say, you know what? It's been 2 months, a month, 3 months since I smoked. Then I could honestly say that I quit and mission accomplished. And I could say truly that I did exactly what, and I will do it. I assure you, I will do this. So if I could do something like this for myself, and I'm really gonna do my very best, and I'll let everybody know my progress. If I have to use something as a supplement in order to quit, I'll say it. I'm trying to do this without any supplements. I don't want Nicorette. I don't want nicotine patches. I don't want to use any of that stuff. I don't want to use vape. By the way, I don't see the purpose of switching from cigarettes to vaping as a good solution. I think there's probably many more chemicals in that vaping crap than what there are in cigarettes. But that's me. But again, I'm not going to switch one bad habit to take on another. I want to get rid of the bad habit altogether and be that guy that says, you know what? I feel clean. I feel strong. And that way, 2022 is going to be a superior year. We're going to do some record breakers one way or the other. And while everybody's crying, the interest rates are up, everything's going up, I'm going to be saying that me and my team and myself, we are thriving. And that kind of, we're getting close to the end of the show, but I'm going to tell you all something. I'm going to tell you all something, and you need to take this to heart and understand it and put it into your mindsets, whether you're a buyer, seller, agent, broker, whoever you are, if you're somehow involved in this real estate market. Home sell in good markets and bad markets. Now, I have a knack, I have a tendency of actually thriving in markets that are not that easy. Yeah, I did develop a persona and an ability or intangible kind of thing of dealing with really difficult situations and making them work. But I'm not saying that everyone needs to do that. What I'm saying to everybody out there listening is you need to take every single aspect of the current market that you're working on, think it through as far as where the projections are 6 months, 12 months from now, and be able to adapt and modify your model in order to be able to do it. So if you're a seller and you're trying to sell your house and you're hitting a spot where the market's about to drop, or you're already in the decline, then what you should be doing at that point is basically adjusting, adapting. Whether it's everybody hates this as far as adjusting the price, and that's part of the model. Don't get me wrong; that could be something, but changing what you should be doing prior to that is changing the marketing, changing the directive, changing the approach, finding an angle that will make you much more presentable. You got to keep doing that stuff, because if you're not, you're going to get lost in the shuffle. You're going to end up losing money. You're going to be in one of those situations where you're trying to catch a falling knife. The same way people that are running into the stock market and buying when they're at a complete high, and then the market starts plummeting, and they're trying to time themselves when to sell out, and they don't want to take a loss. They just keep adding more and more and more as it's dropping down more and more, and they don't know where the bottom's going to hit. You got to be very mindful of that. Drivers, look at the rash of subway assaults, street attacks, and killings. Look at this guy. Driver seat. Again, we're trying to be positive today. We're trying to be positive. All right. Look at the rash of subway assaults, street attacks, and killings in NYC. Most of the suspects are the mentally ill and homeless who are officials are giving rental vouchers to. I did read it, driver's seat. Well, I'm not going to say all of them, but you are right. There's a lot of them that are getting those vouchers. There most definitely is a very, very big portion of people that are getting those type of help, and those type of vouchers. It's not necessarily a great situation that we're looking at. It's actually pretty rough the way it's going down. And it almost feels like a lot of people are being enabled for bad behavior. Now, not the mentally ill. If somebody's mentally ill, they should be put in either institution or treated for their illness. Same way you're treated for a disease or a cold or corona or whatever the case is, they need to be treated. So I'm not going to talk negatively about anybody that has some type of mental defect or illness. However, it's the officials and the government that should be helping these people and putting in the right places to get the right type of help in order to avoid a lot of the criminality, a lot of the assaults, a lot of the things that are happening on the streets and the subways. And just giving them vouchers to have a place to live in is not enough. It's not enough. If somebody's mentally ill and and this has happened to me, I'm going to close out the show by just giving you a little bit of understanding of why I'm coming at this. Damn it, driver seat, you had to get me a little somber towards the end, but I'm going to answer your question appropriately. You have a situation where people are having vouchers given to them to be able to move into a place. They move into an apartment building. They're mentally ill. Not only are they harmful to themselves, now they're harmful to other people that are in that building in one way or another. They become nuisances in some ways, and that would probably be the least of the problems. Sometimes they become violent, and they might attack the other tenants. Now you have an unsafe building environment. You have an safe housing environment for multiple people dwelling in there, not necessarily only to that person that's mentally ill themselves. So it's something that it could become a real problem, and it needs to be addressed in the right way. I don't like a system where it enables people or it basically pushes issues to the side just by throwing a little bit of money at it. It needs to be tackled correctly, and it needs to be approached in the right way. The city is way too crowded, but they'd love to take credit for any debt they make in homelessness at the landlord's expense. Well, you know what? It's called politics, and it's called New York City and New York State politics. They've been doing this forever to landlords. It's not justified. It's not the right thing to do, and it's pretty disgusting, to be quite honest with you. I promise you, driver seat, I will. I assure you, I will tackle this subject again. Not only down the line, multiple times down the line. I talk about housing. I talk about the issues that we're dealing with in the city and the state all the time. No, we just don't have enough time for that in the show, but I definitely will not. I will not ignore it, and I will table this conversation for a show that I could dedicate a lot more time to it. These things that are happening in Brownsville, ENY, Crown Heights, yes, those are the same places you mentioned last week. Definitely the same place. So, that being said, we're coming to the end of the show. Did I really talk a lot about real estate? Not as much as I usually do. Did I give everybody a little better understanding of how I'm wired, my makeup? I hope so. Is this what you've been asking for? Is this what you wanted to hear from me? Do you want to hear me talk about more about topics like this in the future, in future shows on the Real Estate Plate, or somehow adapt and apply my personal life of how I approach aspects of this business? Please let me know, and I'll do my best to be able to make everybody have a better understanding of where I'm coming from. I hope that this was not a turn off for a lot of people who come in to listen about straight real estate, but I think it was necessary. And you know what? Spring is in the air. It's going to be a really, really good spring coming up. It's going to be a great remainder of 2022. It's 7 o'clock. Trevor is throwing me off the air. I appreciate you. Have a great week. Make lots of money in real estate. And I'll be with you once more, just as every single week, next Monday, 6 to 7 p.m. on the Real Estate Plate. Thanks for listening.